Let's learn computer programming using Scratch. You can either download Scratch app if you have an Android phone or tablet, or you can go to scratch.mit.edu on any browser and then click Start Creating button. When Scratch launches, you will have these tutorial videos which you can watch, and you should also consider joining Scratch. If you join Scratch, you can not only save all the projects that you make, you can also remix projects that have been made by other people in the Scratch community. So I am going to sign in, and once I'm signed in, you can see that if I go to my stuff, I can see all the projects that I have made earlier and they have got saved. Plus, if I share my projects, then other people, if they are logged in, they can remix that project. So Scratch is a very interesting and easy way to make some great stuff and get comfortable with the basics of computer programming. Scratch is a block-based programming software. That means that there are all these programming blocks here which have got commands that you can simply drag and drop into this programming area, and this is called the stage. So whatever commands you will write will get executed on this stage. The stage can have backdrops, and these characters that you will use to make greeting cards or animated stories or games or whatever else, these are called sprites. So for example, I can go to the backdrop and I can choose a pre-made backdrops, and Scratch gives you lots of options. So I can change the backdrop. I can also add more sprites, and again Scratch gives you a whole library of sprites that you can add. Not only that, you can paint your own sprite, or you can even upload an image, and that image will then become a sprite that you can program. Same for backdrops. You can choose from the library that already exists, or you can paint your own backdrop, or you can upload a backdrop. So for example, you could take a photograph of your classroom and make that as the backdrop, and then you can take photographs of yourself and your friends, and they will become the sprites, and you can program them and have a fun animation of you and your friends in your classroom. When we are learning Scratch, we will also try to learn some fundamentals of computer programming. So some basic concepts in computer programming that get used across languages, be it Scratch or be it JavaScript, Python or any other advanced language, and hence it is useful if you understand these concepts well. Some of these concepts are statements and events and loops and Boolean expressions and conditional statements and so forth. Let's start with the first one, statements. In computer programming, a statement is simply a command that tells the computer to do something. So in Scratch, the looks blocks, the motion blocks and the sound blocks are examples of statements. And these kind of blocks in Scratch are called stack blocks because they have this groove like a jigsaw puzzle, and you can create a stack of blocks by adding more blocks together. So let's have a look in Scratch. So I am on the cat sprite. These are the motion blocks, these are the looks blocks. So I can go here and I can drag a command like move 10 steps, and this is a statement, and if I click, it gets executed, and my cat, every time I click, it moves 10 steps. I can change this value and I can make it 20, and then my cat will move a longer distance, or I can make it minus 50 and then it will move 50 steps in the other direction. Likewise, looks, I can have this statement saying say hello for 2 seconds, and if I click, my cat will say hello, and you can write anything here that you want. You can say hi and just for 1 second, and if I click this, that sprite that you are programming, in this case the cat, it will say hi. So the second important concept in computer programming is events. Events signal a user action, or they signal the start of a set of commands. So in Scratch, for example, when green flag clicked, is one example of an event. And these type of blocks are called hat blocks because, as you can see, they've got a hat-like shape. Other examples of events include when spacebar is pressed, when this sprite is clicked, and when I receive this message when loudness is greater than a certain number, etc. And we will look at these events in programs that we will write in the future. Let's look at the green flag pressed event. So here I am back in Scratch and I have these two commands. One is saying, let's say, move forward 20 steps, say hi for 1 second. And I want to tell the computer when to start executing these two statements. So I can go to events, and here there is something called when green flag is clicked. So I can drag and drop this, and these are stack blocks, and as you can see, they will snap onto each other. And now what I'm saying is that wait for the user to click the green flag. This is the green flag, and when the user will click this green flag, execute these two commands. Move 20 steps and say hi for 1 second. So if I click, these commands get executed. So let's look at another important concept in computer programming called loops. A loop repeatedly executes one or more commands. In Scratch, forever and repeat are examples of loops. In the next video, we will write a small program in Scratch using events, statements, and loops to animate our name.